And we have returned! Ascension eSports Dragon League, the Abusement Park versus T7. Getting into game 2, we saw a pretty back and forth early game. Then in the mid game, we saw absolute dominance come out from the Abusement Park. I am Dezdan, followed by my co-caster, Brother Brando. How are you doing today, Dezdan?
Well, you said you were Dezdan. So,
I am Decerux.
I am casting by myself.
I am Minutes.
Yeah. Prepare for the worst stream you've ever heard in your lives.
Yeah. Something is clearly wrong with our heads right now.
You getting minutes mixed up with seconds. You're getting our names mixed
up with Decerux's.
Oh man.
2 Dezdans.
Is that a pro? Is that a pro Dezdan?
I don't know, man. I've never seen a pro Dezdan before. Oh, are you talking about that one who cleared T13 on his third try?
No. Nobody will get that reference. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
But yeah, getting into game 2 very soon. What do you think changes in the draft of T7? What do you think they got to do?
I'm going to bet if we see Kled, maybe he won't have barrier this time. No, all jokes aside, I don't know what exactly T7 changes up. I just felt like they were firing on all different cylinders, and they just didn't. They didn't look cohesive at all, unless they were making picks, which is where their comp did kind of shine. But that said, I think the Abusement Park can kind of just stick with exactly what they drafted. I hope they play it better than they did early game. That's definitely something I really think they needed to work on. Using their abilities at the right times is something they need to work on. That said, though, we'll just have to see it. You never know how these drafts go.
Yeah, we will be getting into picks and bans quite soon enough. Here we go. T7. And the score is absolutely wrong. Please forgive me for that one.
I guess I need to update the Twitch page with the new Ascension eSports logo.
Oh, man.
I'll try to do that after the series is done.
I'd keep my head down if I were you.
Yeah, that new logo, man.
Fresh.
The new logo, I got it right now. I got that logo on screen right now, the best one.
I have a feeling I know which one you're actually talking about. And yes, that is by far the best one.
Best Ascension eSports logo right there.
It is the best right now.
The best, oh, look at that. Zyra banned out this game.
I've never seen Swipe play Thresh. I'm curious as maybe I'm completely... I've only played like 20 games with Swipe, so maybe I'm completely wrong. I know nothing.
Right.
I know nothing. Yeah, Caitlyn banned out as well. It is a pretty strong pick. I don't feel it's the most Phoenix of picks, though.
Okay, it does look like Swipe has been playing some Thresh, so that's good to see. I always enjoy seeing Thresh played. One of my favorite is my favorite character by far.
We see Philly the God going with the Jace. I believe that's going to be top lane. Could be a flex for the mid lane. And if you're really, really bronze, it could be a flex for the ADC.
Is he going to take, if it is AD carry, they're going to take teleport a la Deft. Oh man, that was one of the strangest things I've ever seen. And I think it was at Worlds. I could be wrong though.
Goodness gracious. So the Orianna
has
picked
teleport
up.
too.
The Orianna picked up. This is something I know that Kansu plays. I believe it's his main champion, actually. So being able to
it was
get on
banned out last time.
Yeah, it was banned out last time, and I'm looking forward to seeing his Looks like there might have been a client issue.
I'm assuming that's a placeholder of some sort.
So we are still going through the picks and bans.
I'm gonna make an assumption, and I could be wrong. I see Zed and Fizz are banned. Jazz played Katarina last game. Jazz is one of those players that really likes to play stuff that gets in your face and just absolutely annihilates you, because that's a champion pool right there. Oh goodness.
Interesting to say the least. Only going for the assassins. Looking for the self-carry.
We all know how I feel about assassin players in low elo, but I will not get into that since Jazz is a sub.
So yeah, there is a ban missing on the side of the Abusement Park. They do have an emergency sub in the form of Kansu. We're going to see what bans come out next. Second phase of bans here.
Fine. I'll be over here.
And that doesn't surprise me at all. Phoenix looked pretty good on that Zaya. Pretty good.
They're really pinching down the 80 carries. We're going to have to see what Phoenix does go to. It almost has to be Ashe, right? Ashe Varus, maybe?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was Ashe. If it's Ashe, it's a great comp. Orianna, Ashe, Gragas.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
a
that's
dream right
tons
there.
of engage. Yeah, that's tons of engage. And also, I don't even like LeBlanc at like
What?
plat, gold, diamond elo. I don't know how that's gonna work out.
Yeah, let's back this up a little bit. They just banned Ari when the mid lane's already picked. Hello? T7, you guys there?
I think that might be some uncomfortableness with the 5 draft system. I'm going to attribute it to that.
Yeah, most likely.
Because back in the day, like back whenever we just had 3 bans, you just banned out normally. And so I'm just going to attribute that to being uncomfortable with how bans are now.
I just want to point out that Phoenix didn't go Ashe. I am very disappointed in him for that.
The Lucian works, I guess, if he does get lane priority. And into Tom Kench, I think he's okay.
You know what I'd like to see? It would be a great
What?
interaction.
No.
Curtain call, Tom Kench. Let the curtain call still happen from the belly. If you could do it with the calling, why can't you do it with the curtain call?
Boom, boom. He's now a sniper catfish frog. So what is the Azir?
Yeah, so the Azir is a placeholder.
Oh boy. So, do we need to talk about the rule that was initiated last week?
Did I miss that
About
rule?
you have to pre-announce your placeholder picks? Because I do not remember. I did not see them say that Azir was going to be. Because, man, that's a rough situation. I am not. sticky situation, but hopefully we'll get it under control.
Yeah, getting this solved right now. There was a bit of an issue with that placeholder, so that's why we're having a bit of a stall right now. Just a little bit of issues in terms of the rule is, as Dezdan stated, you do have to announce your placeholders before you go for the placeholder. And right now we have come to the consensus that the Azir pick was a throw off. They didn't get the message of the placeholder in time. So now we are changing it up so that it's going to be a redraft after the Shen pick.
I guess from now on, as soon as we enter a lobby for teams, we're going to have to announce that rule, because it's been something teams haven't quite picked up on yet. But we'll make it work. It's still very early in the season, so gotta work it out. Work out the kinks. We'll be fine. That said, I'm going to run through bans real quick. I believe we're going to draft up to the point where the Shin was picked. Then we're going to have a completely different draft, where it could be the exact same draft. You never know.
Yeah, everything's pretty straightforward right now. We shouldn't see any real changes up until the Shen.
Which Shen was Azir, so that was picked by the Bear ruler, so it's going to be a fairly quick change, so it could have a significant impact on the draft. Maybe they won't ban Ahri this time, after a mid lane's been picked.
Yeah, right. With that being said, it does kind of bite because both teams have showed their hand.
Yeah.
So it's not the most friendly thing, but in all due fairness, the redraft does have to happen after the Shen.
Yeah. It was mistakes on both sides, so best thing to do is just go to the point of the mistake and reset from there. It should be Jace, then Orianna, then I guess Shen, or I guess it's going to be Azir again, possibly. Yeah, they even banned Ahri while having two mid laners gone.
Yeah. So now they are going to pick the Shen right after this pick right here. And now it's a completely new draft. Whatever the teams want to do, they can do. The bans right now are no longer the same. Second phase of bans are not going to be the same. Second phase of picks are not going to be the same. But they can be the same if they wanted to.
Yeah. And we do see Zach first rotated. That is very strong jungler. I'm surprised he actually made it through. And it's going to be LeBlanc again. I really dislike LeBlanc. She can work, but like the changes to her made her like a weird wave clear mage, and I don't see that working out too well in low elo. I've never seen that work out too well in low elo. Let me just change that. That said, it can work if you can play it correctly.
It's technical. That's the best way to put it. She's an assassin, but not the whole face roll Katarina type thing. She's more, you gotta be very aware of what skill is going to be the most efficient in accomplishing the assassination. That being said, she does have a lot of raw damage, so sometimes it just doesn't even matter. You can just go ahead and face roll the keyboard and see what happens.
Yeah.
But she has a lot of tricks, and if you're good at LeBlanc, it really does show.
Yeah, and she could build pretty much anything. Like we've seen Lich Bane Gunblade, and just all sorts of weird items you wouldn't normally attribute to LeBlanc, but it works. It works.
Fine. I'll just
So this time they ban out the Lucian and the Xayah, And that's what we're talking about. They showed their hand earlier, and it does hurt them in the fact that they do lose the Lucian pick. They didn't ban the Ahri the second time around.
Yeah, it's like we're gonna probably. It has to be what's left. Astrastana, Varus, Kog'Maw.
Wow. Oh. Did he just go for that?
It kind of fits the same niche as Ashe. It brings CC, but it's a lot closer range CC. And
that being said, they do have the Stand United. If Kickster is more on point with it, it can be pretty huge to, you know, send in the electric death ball.
Yeah, that said, the cannon does not have the scalings that a normal AD carry does, so you have to be... You need to end the game before this gen gets the in-game items, because he will out-damage the cannon.
So we're going to see what the last pick is going to be. They are going with the Karma. And the composition for the Abusement Park this time kind of feels a little bit haphazard.
Oh, wait. Nah, they're just messing with us.
Okay. Yeah. They're probably like taking the complex way to do this.
That's a Phoenix thing. Phoenix knew what he was doing.
But yeah, it seems very haphazard for them to go for this type of route. Feels like they just had to throw it together on the fly, and they were just like, "Hey, you know, I've been playing this in solo queue."
Nah, it can work out, but it's some. There's a reason. There's a meme on Reddit for saying never pick cannon if your name's not reckless. So I don't know. We'll see. That said, I still honestly like the Abusement Parks comp more than I like T7's. T7's comps just, it doesn't have like any synergy at all.
There's some synergy there. I mean, you do
don't
have a lot of
see
poke in the form of Jace and Jhin, and they do complement each other well, especially if, you know, at any point a Deadly Flourish lands, that can be a guaranteed shock blast. But there is issues in terms of like the LeBlanc, in terms of this is the team that doesn't really want to like team fight, so having the Zac and the Lex bounce won't work in a straight up team fight. It can work in a pick, but you know, what if you get Phoenix during the Maelstrom? That's not fun.
Yeah, and you're gonna be walking into an Orianna who wants you to group up together and fight, and it's very awkward. They're gonna have to play this in a very different way.
I mean, they can play it as if it's a poke comp, and they can use the tools they have as disengaging. It's weird, but it can work. I'm not gonna count them out right off the bat. You know, T7 do have the ability to get something out of this game, and I feel like their comp is not as bad as it seems. It just seems so, you know, unorthodox and really almost like solo queue-esque, but I do think there's potential there.
Yeah, it's very solo queue, and that's what I'm seeing, and that's what that's not always the worst thing, especially since we're not LCS by any means, so I mean it can work out. Play what you're comfortable on, and go from there.
Yeah, so on that note, you know what I gotta say. For those of you just joining us, this is Ascension eSports Dragon League. This is an LCS-style tournament with the regular season for players in bronze through silver. If you're interested in joining Ascension eSports, we have divisions for all elos, including Elder, for gold through plat, and Phoenix, which is an open league, as well as an in-house rank ladder. So please check out our Discord, check out the links below, check out our subreddit, and we hope to see you here soon.
Thank you for shopping on QPC.
Have you or a loved one been affected by mesothelioma?
I thought you were going to go for the farmers only.
Oh.
Oh boy. But yeah, I don't know. This game can go either way.
Yeah, this is the one where I'm like much more hesitant to outright call a winner.
Yeah.
Because, ooh, There's so much like variables. Like you take Phoenix, a consistently good player that can usually pull off some pretty, you know, significant, consistent plays in the ADC role. Then you throw him on Kennen and you don't know what the hell to think anymore.
Yeah, it can work though. That's the biggest thing. And if any player in Dragon League can make it work, I think Phoenix probably can.
On another
we'll see.
note, I don't like the Karma pick. I don't think it really works with her.
I actually don't either. Yeah, especially with the ult or mantra shield nerfs that she received. I definitely don't think she's quite worth the pick as she used to be. I don't exactly know what they would replace Karma with, but we shall see.
So we are going to get into game in just a second. We are hitting the load screen, checking out those keystones. So far, nothing too much out of the ordinary. They do have the Shen pick again, which can actually work pretty well into Jace. It all depends on the timing of Philly the God, if he can like time his attacks, if he knows how to get Kickster off of him and be able to counterattack with it, you know, that's when you can have some success.
Yeah, you would think that being a melee into a ranged would be like really bad, but since Jace does a lot of physical damage into the Shen, Shen is one of the better melees to bring into a ranged. So we'll see. You have to play it right on both sides and to get the advantage in lane, and it's really going to depend a lot on the junglers. I think which top laner kind of gets ahead and does their job. I really want to see Kickster step up with the Stand United this game.
Yeah, absolutely. They were very lackluster last game, very late, despite having a pretty good early laning phase. But we are getting into game now. Game 2, T7, the Abusement Park. Will we get a game 3 or will this be a clean sweep? We're going to find out in just a moment. So yeah, a very standard spread coming out from the Abusement Park. Doesn't look like T7 are going to do anything cheeky this time.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Yeah, no gold lead this time for Swipe.
That was it. You saw how much damage Swipe did?
Yeah.
It all came down to that 8 gold she got early. So, welcome to Ascension eSports, land of pauses. So, let's see. We're finding out why. Apparently, on the side of Country Boy for the win. Lag reasons.
And I feel you, buddy. Our southern internet is not necessarily the best. Especially when you play off a cell phone.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Brother Brando plays off a cell phone internet. You know, you got one of them, whatchamacallits.
Got their high-fangled, high-tech, fancy old Wi-Fis.
Oh, man, that's a lot of... you know, what is fine? I want to know why.
Man.
Land of pauses. We are 1 minute into the pause to reinform you of the pause rule. They have a cumulative 5 minutes. Yes, I said minutes this time. Or 3 pauses, whichever comes first. And we are back into game, so none of that in effect yet.
Are they gonna? Wow.
And Swipe just won the game. She got 16 gold this time. That's it. That's the end right there. What in the world? Phoenix has a call.
Dad. I don't know about that one, Phoenix.
And once again, another game pause.
That's number 2.
That is number 2. They only have one more pause after this. This was paused by Jazz 10,022. Yet to have found out why, but the game is getting unpaused right now. Apparently, he forgot to wipe after voiding his bowels.
Oh, always good to stay hygienic.
Yeah, I mean, how can he beat your lane if he can't beat bacteria? Nothing? Hello?
I'm gonna just disregard that one.
Brother Brando, please.
Oh boy.
And that fourth shot waiting. He wants to get in onto Phoenix. Phoenix gets hit by, gets chunked out quite nasty. And this is the champion that Kansu is supposed to be really comfortable on, and he goes down. First blood picked up by Jazz.
Yeah, this is, if you actually noticed during the lane phase, or during their exchange, rather, Jazz did a lot of that damage actually came from auto attacks. Q autos, that's actually why a lot of LeBlancs do build the Lich Bane, because you Q, you use the Lich Bane proc, and oh wow, Phoenix, you just got chunked.
Yeah, that was nasty, to put it lightly.
I'm really questioning the call.
Yeah, really questioning the call. It's not helping him much at all.
That said, they have gotten some good return damage onto Azrael. Not all is lost.
Oh, okay. I heard you say Ezreal, and I got really confused for a second.
Oh.
I was like, wait a second. Who?
Azrael. As real.
He's as really good as it gets. I don't know. And so far, yeah, first blood. Kansu not looking good at all right now. And the fact that he died with flash up hurts that much more.
Yeah, just disrespecting the LeBlanc's early damage, I guess. And you would think that...
Go ahead.
Yeah, you would think that Orianna would win that fight. Orianna obviously known for her early game, just auto attack damage. It's interesting.
And that's another thing to point out. You know he's taking an assassin? I don't agree with taking Ghost in this situation.
He actually just popped it, apparently.
Let's look on over there, try and find out why. By the way, he's almost already.
That's rough.
I don't know, it kind of looks like T7 should have never banned him out in the first place. And look at that damage to come out. Wasn't actually that much, but it looked pretty cool.
That's all that matters, right?
Yeah, it appears all lanes on the side of the Abusement Park are starting to struggle.
And like I said, I don't know that they really have a late game comp as compared to their enemy, and they don't get going early. It could be a very rough game going for them.
See, Bear Ruler actually gets bullied out. Jazz. Goodness me.
Yeah, making this LeBlanc work.
And if you look at the way he's playing the LeBlanc, it's very patient with everything he does. He's not trying to force anything huge out. He's only making plays when he knows he can actually do something with it.
Yeah. And he by far was their strongest player in the last game, so gotta keep our eye on this guy.
And there we go again. Massive damage coming out. There goes the Ignite. Will it be the end of Kansu? One more ticket. That's another kill picked up by Jazz.
Two very clean solo kills from the side of Jazz, and that's 2 stacks on that Dark Seal.
Oh, that is what you do not want to happen. And I don't know, did he have his shield up? What, am I missing something?
Not respecting LeBlanc's damage.
Absolutely. And he hasn't been able to dodge pretty much anything that's been thrown out by Jazz. Jazz has been landing the tethers left and right and making that lane hell for Kansu. But on the top lane, here comes Bear Ruler looking to get Philly, and Philly gets taunted up. A chunk of health gets taken away, and Kickster gets one back for the Abusement Park.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen that dance before. Kickster and Bear Ruler were constantly together last game, and they made that top lane absolute nuisance for Philly the God. I think he was like 0-6 on his Kled, and yeah.
And that's actually something we pointed out about Bear Ruler last week. Bear Ruler absolutely sticks to that top lane, and oh my goodness, Kansu, that's 2 chains and too little health to survive a killing spree for Jazz. But meanwhile, the Blob being taken down into the platform. They don't have enough. Stand United is up, but they've yet to use it. Phoenix is in danger. Where is the ultimate? Where's the Stand United? He gets dropped. Here comes Bear Ruler. Wants to get something back for his team, but RM Azrael able to get out of there with a flash, but Jazz is here, and Jazz does so much damage. The Stand United is so goddamn late, and down goes the jungler of the Abusement Park. Kickster going after Jazz. Another chain comes out. Will it be 2? It looks like it's going to be a double kill. Forces the flash out of Kickster, and the Abusement Park are falling apart.
What the hell was that? I can give you all the analysis in the world, but that was just dumb.
Yeah, absolutely. Stand United up, available. Did not use it. Why? You could have helped out Phoenix. You could have kept him in that fight longer. You could have even just scared away the fight and disengaged it altogether. Instead, they just decided, hey, we're going to wait till later and then not even save anyone with it.
Oh, man. This is the second time, like 2 games in a row, just not using the Stand United right.
Stand divided.
Oh, man. Yeah, terrible. Pretty much.
Here we go again. Chain is out. There's a second chain. Shockwave goes out, getting turned around in time. He gets him! A shutdown picked up by Kansu, and very well needed. Overstepping his boundaries was Jazz.
Yeah, that's a little bit overconfidence, but that was also a very good response from Kansu coming in there. Able to pick that shutdown going up that he desperately needs.
Oh, man. This is pretty much, I feel like this is the defining game. I feel like whoever wins this one, well, obviously Abusement Park win if they take it, but I feel like at this point, T7 are starting to get their mojo. There's no flash on the side of Azrael. Azrael able to get under the tower just in time, and they fail that engagement.
He should be fine. Yeah, the Tom Kinch Devour there was very clutch.
And here comes the curtain call. Unable to get any kills, but did chunk Bear Ruler down by a lot.
Oh boy, this is a messy game. I have no other words for that than messy.
Yeah, so here we go. Fight breaking out, looking to take out Kickster. Kickster might be able to escape with his life. Will he dodge a shock blast? Doesn't need to. Has the health to survive. Meanwhile, Jazz is going after Kansu. Kansu is starting to outplay him now. Able to get out of the chain. Here comes Bear Ruler. Bear Ruler with a great explosive cask under the turret. Takes down the LeBlanc, and Kansu survives. And that is some serious overconfidence now.
This is also something I noticed from Jazz last game. He got a bit of a lead, and he kept dying due to over-aggression, and that's not what you want to do when you have that sort of lead over your opponent.
And first turret gold going in favor of T7. And honestly, it's a best case scenario for the Abusement Park that it went to Philly the God and Anti-Cavity. If it went towards the bot lane or the mid lane of T7, it would be much worse for them.
Most definitely.
That being said, that aggression that we saw in the first game from T7 is showing once again. It seems like that is their style, just raw, ruthless aggression. And they could do well with it. The question is, can they maintain that momentum into the mid game.
Yeah, that is by far the question, and I'm not seeing it so far. They have the lead right now, but if they keep taking weird trades that don't end in a net positive, then I don't see them taking this. They can't. They have the lead. They need to abuse it.
And these double chains
Like
coming
this.
out of Jazz. Ooh.
And that's honestly what makes LeBlanc so strong, is the double chain, in all honesty. From what I've seen of her anyway.
And here we go. Flash forward. Shockwave absolutely whiffs. Jazz might try and turn that around. Goes back to the distortion spot, unable to get a kill, but man, the confidence coming from him just
That was
rings
ambitious
out.
at best.
Yeah.
LeBlanc, of course, one of the most mobile characters in the game. I'm not too sure why you would waste your flash on that.
Ghost used by Konsu, forced out because Jazz, once again, with those tethers, just shooting them left and right.
Zach is spotted, so they know he's bot side.
And the Tom Kench was drafted last, correct?
Yes. Or it was near the last.
I can't remember if it was the very last pick or if the Kennen was the last pick.
Nah, Kennen wasn't last. Or maybe it was.
No. It was the Kennen, then the Jin Tom, and then the Karma, right?
Yeah, okay. I think that was it.
Yeah, because this Tom is thwarting anything that Phoenix can do. They had a perfect gank. They had the slicing maelstrom. Doesn't do anything. Tom Kench eats him up. Nom nom nom. Walks away. And they
I'm
don't
really
have any potential to kill.
I'm really starting to question the Kennen over the Ashe, or even the Tristana, or anything really. That said, there's still plenty of game to be played. Maybe he can turn it around.
I mean, that's the thing about Tom Kench. Anything that has hard engage, he's great at defending his ADC against.
Oh yeah.
So even
Gotta be
Navarre's
careful.
to Ashe. Oh, we do have Let's Bounce use. Send Swipe more in. Stand United. Use at an appropriate time. Slicing Maelstrom trying to get onto Country Boy. And Country Boy is taunted, is caught up, is rooted, but is he dead? Yes, that is a fried catfish picked up by Swipemore. And that is something picked up. Billy the God coming in. Surprisingly, they didn't try to turn that around.
What can they get for it? Why didn't they? Yes, they saw the LeBlanc coming, but...
Chain goes out, curtain call used, and a taunt under the wall. They get Jazz! And now he's 4-3-1. He was 4-0 at some point.
Yeah, this happened last time. He got an extremely good early start going on his Katarina, and he just fell flat. He knows how to kill, but he doesn't know how to respectfully play after that, you know?
Yeah. And the lead still in favor of T7, though. So it's not the end of the world, but it's showing that that really Jazz, most of all, doesn't know how to really utilize leads.
Yeah, and that's the big glaring problem that I see right now. Wonder if they're going to try to go for the dragon after they take this tower, or even if they're going to be able to get this tower.
No,
Doesn't look like it.
So the Dark still at 0 stacks now. Not really making the most out of that anymore. It was starting to look good at first, but it went downhill really fast, especially like considering Jazz went for a turret dive in the mid lane where Konsu started picking up kills.
Yeah, and it just... You allow your opponent, who you have down so far, to get back into the game. Did they not notice that Philly's out of mana?
I guess they don't. They want to take the recall, they want to reset, possibly for an objective, but speaking of objectives, T7 has their eyes set on the Rift Herald.
Will they be answered with a dragon?
Oh, and over the wall! So much damage! Jazz comes up big.
That was a lot of damage.
Yeah, and that's the potential of the launch. Jazz finally getting something after that 3 death spree he went on.
Yeah, forced Kansu into a Banshee's Veil start.
Ooh.
Why are they giving this Jace so much respect? He's out of mana.
And over the wall, we do see Jazz trying to be aggressive. He does have that blue buff, which makes him just that much more dangerous. But given where we are in the current meta, Banshee's Veil is not the worst thing to be forced to rush now.
Oh, no,
especially
no.
for mages.
Definitely thwarts a lot of assassination attempt. Phoenix, why are you respecting an out of mana Jace? Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, he does have the Slicing Maelstrom. He has Flash, he has Heal. You know who doesn't have Flash? The out of mana Jace. And
Oh.
they
can still take that. Okay. They got the Flash.
I just need to stop for a second.
I understand. I understand, my friend.
That shockwave, absolutely painful. I don't know, because this was a little bit hyped up to me. I heard that Kansu primarily plays Orianna. This was going to be his big champ. This is his chance to make a big play. And speaking of big plays, ooh, Jazz. But yeah, he's not showing up with his Orianna.
What?
Here we go. Country
That's
boy
weird.
using the ult. Great effectiveness.
The Sigil even hit the Gragas, but he still backed. Okay, Riot.
So yeah, despite how dominating this game looks for T7, they're not that much ahead.
No.
This has been like 2K for quite some time now. And really, the only threat there is Jazz. And there we go, Jazz getting a little bit cocky. Jumps out, but Anti-Cavity jumps in. Able to do a lot of work. There's the ultimate coming out from Bear Roller. And Slicing Maelstrom is used. Looking to stop up Azrael. He does drop. This puts the kills almost even at this point. They're looking to get Jazz. Jazz should have the distortion. Able to jump away. Able to bind up Kickster. And now the focus is on this bot tower.
I think the important thing is Phoenix has completed his Blade of the Ruin King, and that is a very big spike for AD Cannon. It looks like he's going to go for the Hurricane next, possibly. Or not Hurricane. Yeah, Hurricane. We're on Hurricane. That definitely aids into the power of the on-hit cannon.
Oh, and a flash forward! Save coming out from Country Boy. Jazz so very low, but such a desperate play results in 2 flashes burnt for Jazz and Country Boy.
And a loss of a turret. Once again, unbridled aggression, and it's just not working out.
And what?
Question mark? What? He was out.
Too many question marks there.
He was out. Why did he turn back around?
Well, this is risky right here. They're looking to chase down Azael. They really shouldn't. They know who's alive. He's right there. He did get spotted by a ward. And they back out immediately. They use that mantra on the shield to just get out as a group, and that's the smart thing to do.
They're going for it?
Here we go. Bear Ruler getting caught out by Jazz. Stunned up, beat up, no fights, breaking out though.
Yeah, the Jace flashed over the wall, and he was cleanly out.
And then he walks back in.
It looks like maybe he was expecting Kansu to flash, and he was hoping to go the other way.
Maybe?
I don't know, man. I
have no idea.
grasping. I'm grasping for a justification on what just happened.
Still with
At
the
the
fight,
end of
Jazz. Looking to be as much of a nuisance as possible. Gets the double chain once again. Forces out the explosive cast.
Turret has been destroyed.
There
I
we
don't
go
think
again.
the explosive cast was needed.
Once again, Stand United comes in clutch, finally. Kickster, surprisingly not going in after Philly flashes over the wall. There's the shockwave. There's a lot of damage on the Philly, but a lot of damage on the Kansu as well. Will Kansu be able to survive? There's the shock blast. Takes out the Orianna, and down will go Philly as well. It's such a close exchange there.
And I'm going to have to say, regardless of who wins this series, both of these teams should not be happy with what they've done so far. Hey, if these teams want to be contenders for the #1 spot, they really got to work on some stuff, man. It's looking rough on both sides.
Oh, this looks bad for Phoenix. Let's bounce. Gets dropped. Kickster getting chunked up, eaten, and thrown to the wolves. That wolf is Jazz as he takes down Kickster for a double kill.
7-3-1 on this block.
Swipe's got to run more. That damage is deceptive. And there we go. Tether misses. There's just so much potential.
That's the big thing about LeBlanc. If you can dodge the tether, then you're mostly fine.
Oh, look at this. Caught out is Azriel. He's trying to fight it out with Bear Ruler. Has to flash over the wall. Has to give up that fight. It wasn't working out for him.
He disrespected the fact that tanks do damage in 2017.
Yeah. And Kansu getting caught out. Trying to get under the tower. Gets a lot of damage onto Jax. Jax barely able to survive that one. Cockiness. Almost becoming hubris.
Yeah, just got to temper that aggression. I say this every week about somebody, but you have a lead. Don't throw it away by allowing your opponent to get back into the game.
Well, I think the best way to put it right now is Jax is playing like this is a single-player game. Straight up.
Yeah.
And we might see the Slicing Maelstrom using Explosive Cast is used. Anti-Cavity going after Bear Ruler. There goes the shots of the Curtain Call. They have picked up one, and a great taunt to come out from Kickster, as well as the Slicing Maelstrom. They're looking to get Country Boy next. Country Boy is going to drop. Azriel getting so ambitious with that one. That's a double kill picked up by the Phoenix 96.
And that is best case scenario there. Other than the Gragas living, you want as many kills onto this attack speed cannon as possible, and that just happened.
That did indeed just happen. I mean, he's had a rough time with this. Uh-oh, looks like he might want a piece of Kickster. Kickster trying to fight this out. And there is Phoenix looking to back up his teammate. There is a great use of the distortion and the binding, and so much work to come out of Jax. A great joke to come out of Jax as well. Are they going to be able to get him? Oh my goodness, this man is insane.
Wow. That was actually really impressive. Well done by Jazz there.
I mean, there's not much to say about that. That was slick.
That reminds me of some old Civ HD stuff.
Yeah. So now, the game looks like it can go either way. I mean, Jazz is doing great and all, but as we were saying earlier, it's still looking very single-player-esque. Because the gold right now is pretty even.
In saying that, you've got all your gold onto one player, whereas on the side of the amusement park, it's spread out across the team. And a lot of times, and especially with LeBlanc, he can only really blow up one. She can only LeBlanc. She can really only blow up one person.
Points of Blanc.
So having all your gold on LeBlanc's generally not necessarily the best idea or the best situation.
Here we go again. Jazz going for the sneaky plays, wants to get the assassination. A great shockwave stops the elastic slingshot. but it was only used for disengage, which means they should not take this fight. Current Call's being used, explosive cast goes out. They are able to isolate Anti-Cavity, and he will drop into blob form. Kickster having to flash away. Country Boy looking to run out as well. Jazz wants to fight his opportunity. They aren't able to take out Anti-Cavity, but they might be able to get it. Jazz, no, Jazz able to flash out just in time, and no deaths so far. Kickster wants to change that around, unable to get the taunt onto Jazz. Kickster falls to Philly the God, and they weren't able to get out anything. What a great bait to come out of Jazz.
What a scattered fight there for both sides. Just, oh man, that was extremely close either way.
Oh,
Honestly,
you have flash.
Honestly, the shockwave being used to stop the Zac going in, I think, is honestly what turned the fight. Or honestly, what kind of spelled out disaster for the Abusement part. Not having that essential team fighting ability just really ruined their team fight.
I think it was fine that they did that, but after that point, they have to recognize that their main team fight tool is down, and they don't take the fight anymore. Like, as I was playing that, I said that, like, you should probably not take this fight. And what happened? They lost 2, and they lost Marin. And look at that, they're not getting Infernal. Pick up the Drake,
Yeah,
you know
really
they're there.
Got to get something out of the situation, and Dragon's probably their best, most secure thing that they could probably go for.
And now the game is starting to look grim for the Abusement Park. They aren't getting much out of this Orianna pick. That's the biggest thing. They need the Shockwave. Like, the Shockwave, if you get it at the right spot, that's all you need to win a team fight. Everything else is just a bonus. But they're not getting that. They're getting these very one-person Shockwaves that just don't help their situation.
Yeah, there's probably 1 or 2 more opportunities, I would say, for a good team fight before their bases starts getting imploded on.
And once again, Jazz so forward with that aggression, and it's really on Bear Ruler to be able to, you know, counter engage that. He has to be very careful with his timing, but if he can get it, that's all you need. As long as everyone follows up, that should be a quick kill onto Jazz. Jazz looking to get the kill onto Phoenix. Unstoppable is Jazz.
Yeah, they really need some sort of instant click CC to stop this LeBlanc at this point, and they don't. Their comp just doesn't really have too many options for that.
We are going to see a fight between Philly the God and Kickster. Kickster, though, he's been losing out this matchup so far and uses a failed taunt. That is 2 down on the side of the Abusement Park. And
Looks like we might be.
Yeah, we do have a disconnect, so we should expect the pause to come out soon. Yep, and there it is. That is the last pause that T7 can do.
Yeah, they cannot pause again. If it is, then if they do try to pause again, what do we actually do?
We figure that out later.
Because, yeah, this is their last pause.
Unfortunately, Jazz disconnecting. Not at a time like, you know, pausing when Kansu was in the middle of all hell.
Yeah. Yeah. And so they have the Baron. They're all mid, which is interesting. I don't know that I 100% agree with that, but there is a Shen down, and Phoenix is still dead, so I guess it makes sense to try to shove that in. All they have to really do is play against the Shockwave and just respect it and take down the turret tower accordingly.
Yeah, but I mean, at this rate, it looks like you can disrespect it, and Kansu still won't get anything.
Goodness.
I mean, we saw it earlier in the mid lane. Kansu,
Yeah.
Shockwave, nothing. All he got was minions, and it was a very obvious, you know, that's not going to hit anything Shockwave. Earlier, Shockwave onto Zac, which was nice, but they still pursued the team fight, which, you know, doesn't work. Plain and simple. The only time we've seen a good Shockwave is just a 1v1 over aggression from Jazz, resulting in a kill. That's not good Shockwave utilization. We have to see the 3-man, the 4-man, the 5-man Shockwave comes in. As long as it hits Jazz and Azriel, you have a good Shockwave. But right now, not so much. It's not looking good for what should have been his best champ.
Yeah, and nothing else to say to that.
So meanwhile, on the side of T7, they have been looking good so far. They have that over-aggression. It's working pretty well for them, but as you've stated, this is a very quarterback-style team. So there is 50 seconds left on this pause timer. And we do have the reconnect. That means Jazz is back. But that also means no more pauses. So if he disconnects again, that's it. They have to continue the fight without him and hope that he comes back.
Yep.
That being said, there are 3 pauses and 5 minutes left on the side of the Abusement Park. They've yet to pause. That is the 25-minute mark, so we should be continuing now. There's the continue. And we are back into the game. Hopefully all is well, because we definitely don't want to see, you know, a game lost on the disconnect.
No, it's never fun for either team.
Right there! Shockwave opportunity!
Yeah. That was my
the
thought
Shockwave!
Exactly. It might not have killed anybody, but at least would have done enough damage to maybe possibly force him to back off.
Oh, Shockwave used that time. Does hit Azriel, but
nothing there to finish it off.
Yeah, they already lost the tower. It could have been big if they used it right there, because, you know, Phoenix gets in with the slicing Maelstrom, and you have that Shockwave, you know, doing that much disruption and that much damage. That's a recipe for a possible teamfight win. Not going to see guaranteed, but it's one of the best chances they've had to turn around this game, and they're just not doing it. They're not pulling the trigger.
Yeah, and Jazz wasn't close enough to respond to that if he pulled it at that exact time when you had mentioned it, but yeah. And the weirdest thing is he did use the Shockwave, but after the tower fell.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Don't know at all. Shout out to our other Sharkbait friend. It's the boy, Darkblade in chat.
The boy. Arguably our most improved player over the course of that team's existence.
Yeah, most definitely.
That is Iceborne Gauntlet Jace.
Huh. Interesting.
Interesting. No,
he's not inting yet.
It's working out.
There we go again. And we do get the catch onto Jazz, but are they going to be able to kill him? He has used the clone, so he has used up his resource in terms of scaring him off, but a fail body slam flash coming out of Bear Ruler.
And now they have to disengage.
Yeah, can't take this fight anymore. Well, you still have potential to take it, but it hinges so much on Khonsu.
Meanwhile, on the bot side, just being shoved in.
Does burn the flash the wise thing to do? Because we've seen what Jazz will do. And look at Jazz trying to do it again. That was without the proc. Without the sigil proc. Half of his health. He's healing it up by just autoing the minions, but there we go. Once again, Jazz doing this time and time again, but they have to notice the mana bar in this case. Mana bar is low on the side of Jazz.
Yeah, and honestly, this is where they have the most opportunity. With Jazz being sort of out of the fights, gotta take it, kill it with fire.
Oh, they have to take this. Slicing Maelstrom comes out, knocked back. Here's the shockwave. Is it going to come out? Where is the shockwave? It's on cooldown, actually. They're still winning out the fight so far. They're going to be able to take out Anti-Cavity as well as Country Boy, and that's 2 picked up thanks to no mana on the side of Jazz, and that is what happens when you put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah, that's more what I was talking about with you have your one player that can assist you that has the gold on the team, and they can't carry the fight, especially on this LeBlanc. Like I said, LeBlanc can blow up that one person.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. If LeBlanc keeps getting the picks, it looks good. If LeBlanc's not there, disaster. And that's what just happened. But the disappointing part about this, they got their team fight win. They didn't take drag. They didn't establish strong vision. They didn't do anything with some of the room they had to breathe. Here we go again. Jazz, just a bully. Especially when you're bullying a Shen like that. That is disgusting.
Yeah, that's
we might
nasty.
have a fight break out. This could be a fight they want to take, though. They need to get the ball out there. They need to get the shockwave. It's in prime position, and it's used. They get some critical damage, but only after Bear Ruler was chunked out far too much.
And that comes off the fact that this LeBlanc has so much pressure that there are 3 people topside just to try to stave off this LeBlanc, and that's not a good sign.
Yeah, not at all. But that's it right there. I mean, Jazz is pretty much the power of 3 people. You know, he's willing to go in and try and take someone out. He has ruthless aggression. We said it earlier. So the only way for something big to happen is just playing this carefully, playing this smart. Bear Ruler goes after. That was an exhaust on the LeBlanc tone. That's how well Jazz is playing this. And once again, we have the bind to go out. That's a root on the Jazz. Jazz forced to burn the flash. Expect him to go back in. They have to be careful about the way they handle this. Jazz once again over the wall. Are they going to pick him up? No, he gets over the wall once again. Sticky, slippery LeBlanc.
They really got to find a way to just blow up this LeBlanc, and they just don't have it.
I mean, they get opportunities, but the windows are so small that they have to react extremely timely.
Their main source of damage is in mid lane.
They're able to take out Azrael, and now the Stand United use unable to really help out too much. Kansu,
why did he run away?
Wants the hunt. He's going after it, but unable to get it. Had the ghost burnt. Yeah, questionable why he ran away on that one. You would expect the coordination to be on key.
Yeah, you're in voice comms for a reason. You got to just, hey, I've got my Stand United. You're fine. Go in, and you're good.
And right here, this collapse coming in should be the end of Philly the God. Philly God doesn't have flash, has no way to really escape, but he might have a kill. No, Kansu picking it up before his comrade falls. So yeah, I mean, criticize the Abusement Park all you want. They are defending their base quite well. And here we go, looking for the catch-up on to Jazz, unable to get on. Bear Roller might fall. Phoenix trying to do a lot of work. There's the Let's Bounce. That might be the end of Phoenix. They need to get Jazz. They need to get that kill. Unable to pick it up just in time. They are going to be able to fight this one. The root's out, but they're starting to back out. They don't get the taunt on a Country Boy, and they were too afraid of the MIA Jazz.
Oh, man. Are they gonna go for the Baron?
This might be one of the only opportunities they can go for it, but if they had to have gone for it right then and there.
Yeah.
Look at that. They have the vision. They know he's there. You have to react on that vision. Azriel was walking into prime position to be flanked. And here we go. Once again, Jazz going for a very gutsy play. Almost takes out Phoenix.
There's just no response to when the LeBlanc goes in. And you have to have an immediate response when she is vulnerable, which is when she W's in.
And it's kind of sad. Like, this has just been the Jazz show.
Pretty much. And like I said earlier, they're just allowing the rest of the team to just scale up, and this cannon's not going to offer the same damage that this Jhin is later on.
But no follow-up.
And the Jin's almost, probably this next shot's going to be just about full HP. Nothing comes from it.
A rough game. And it doesn't look like a bad game coming out from Abusement Park. If you look at the scores, it does not reflect what we've been seeing on this map at all.
Yeah, that just goes to show you that KDA does not mean anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unless your name's Jazz.
There we go again. Jazz straight onto Phoenix. Time
Just
and time
allowed?
again.
Yeah, just allowed to walk straight up and do whatever he wants.
I mean, if they can get onto him, they have end the game potential.
Yeah, you kill Jazz, you get an objective at the very least.
Once Whitemore trying to get out, Philly getting way too aggressive. There is a split push going on in the top lane. A back off coming on the side of Azriel and Country Boy.
They're able to take that split push because of the Tompkins ultimate being there.
There it is. Again, Binding coming out does not land. It's such a stalemate because they're depending so much on Jazz to get that assassination to give them the opportunity to take objectives. But that being said, the Abusement Park are playing it quite well in the fact that they're only down 2 kills. And there we go. We might have a catch out onto Philly the God. Explosive Cast goes out. They want to catch him. They want to kill him. They want some kind of advantage, and it looks like they're going to find it. The Phoenix takes out Philly the God.
But look at the dragon. Look at the dragon.
That dragon being picked up. Swipe more. You could be walking into death. A great juke to come out of Jazz. Jazz wants a bite of Swipe more. Swipe more able to run out just in time. There's the stand united. Elder Drake goes down. Shockwave kills Jazz. That is a huge opportunity now.
I don't know that they can do the Baron, though. They're extremely low and they use a lot of everything.
They have 50 seconds to try and make an attempt. Right now, you have valuable time with Jazz off the map. Get something. Get a tower. Get an objective. Get a Baron. Just attempt something because you cannot let this time go without gain. There we go. Baron is started, and the recall just came out of Anti-Cavity. There is no smite fight for this one, so it does look like they are going to get it.
Baron. I'm curious as to why Anti-Cavity continued the recall and he knew they were there.
They are rushing it down. 2,000 health left, and it's going to be smited away. That is a Baron picked up, and it looks like they want to get a piece of Philly the God, but they're a little bit split on their decision-making. The Dissonance not used on the side of Khonsu. He could speed up his team with that. So let's see what they do with this advantage.
So we have, what, 3 Elder buffs versus team with Baron.
And here we go again. Jazz
If they can
doesn't
manage
have the
to
Elder buff. Oh. They took a good chunk out of Jazz, and that's what they need to do if they want to win.
Yeah, they really need to be able to siege without dying to the Elder buff. If they can do that, then the Elder buff will time out way before the Baron buff, and they'll be able to do it. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. They do have Kickster in the bot lane split pushing, which is what they should have done probably from the beginning.
Oh, yeah. But now it's way too risky to do that.
Yeah. And you're fully depending on him to stand united at the right time, and that's not been the case so far this series.
And here comes Jazz. He's going to go after Kickster. Kickster trying to get out. A great taunt out of Kickster actually prevents a lot of damage that could have came in. Jazz getting knocked up by those Baron-empowered minions.
Yeah, I was actually going to say, if Kickster lands the taunt, he can fight.
Yeah. And it's not that hard to bait out, actually. And there it is. We might see a dead Jazz and Kickster 1v1's Jazz. This could be huge. They're looking to get Azrael. Azrael's going to go down. No, he flashes over the wall just in time. They're after Country Boy instead, trying to take him down, trying to get the root. This is big picks to come out from the side of the Abusement Park. They're going to get towers. They're going to get objectives. They might be able to get some inhibitors and possibly the game if they can rush this down fast enough.
This is their chance. This is exactly what they need. If they don't win it from here, I don't see it happening in the rest of the game.
Yeah, they're rushing down this tower.
Get as much
just
as
engage. Just engage. They go for the engage. They're trying to get Azrael. Unable to get him just yet. Philly the God around the corner. They need to get that inhibitor. They can't back off without that inhibitor. Kansu needs to get with his team, but a great defense to come out of T7 stops that. And that split push, that is not what you want to do when you have this window.
I'm assuming Kickster does not know how to do taunt flash, because he had a prime opportunity to do that on that Azrael, and it would have been a free kill, and that possibly could have been the game there.
Here we go. They might get the catch. The shockwave comes up big, and they take down 2 for it. And now
Jazz is there.
This is a huge opportunity. Here comes Jazz. He's going after Bear. He's unable to get him. Jazz gets chunked out, gets chased out. Look who's in the base. It's the Abusement Park as they abuse Azrael. Let's bounce his use, but it's not going to do much. It's going to result in the demise of Anti-Cavity as he gets cleansed by some Caress. Jazz trying to get back in, trying to pick up the kill. Unable to get much. Anti-Cavity survives. They want a piece of Anti-Cavity. They want a piece of Jazz. They want to take this game. Are they going to be able to get it? 5 members alive. They're not going for these towers just yet. I feel like they should just outright end it.
Yeah, I feel like that was the time to go for it, but they do now have enough of an advantage with 2 inhibitors being down to play it safe and hopefully look to end the game from there.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. And just straight out, the Abusement Park bided their time for so long. It finally paid off. They got Jazz, and they got him in a 1v1 with Kickster. Kickster came up so big. This is what we needed from him for so long.
Yeah, definitely coming up huge. Picking off that LeBlanc, and that definitely started to spell what happened there and allowing them to take those 2 inhibitors.
And we had a chase coming out of Philly. That's a questionable chase. Kickster can turn that around if he wants.
He has teammates nearby.
He could have gone for that.
I think he should have.
So now this is the big opportunity. Those minions are gonna be pushing. You gather as 5, you get to that bot tower, and you do some work. Meanwhile, on the side of T7, you know, this is it for you. Everyone else has to start showing up. It can't just be Jazz, because we're seeing what happens. It was the Jazz show, but everyone is starting to scale. Everyone's starting to get in there. And Philly having to flash away, staying there for way too long. And Azrael gets caught out. Explosive Cask is pretty big, but a great save to come out of Country Boy.
Yeah, that was a case of right place, right time there. Unfortunately, it did cost the flash of Country Boy.
At least they're using the Tom Kench the complete right way. Now the threat of that shockwave is pretty big. As long as you can use it correctly, can be pretty good results. There's the shockwave used, but Kansu's way too low to actually continue anything. And here comes in Jazz, trying to make something happen. Doesn't really get too much out of that, but look at the base. Look who's pushing into it. It's Kickster. He wants to take down those inhibitor towers, those Nexus towers, excuse me. And now with that pressure, they're looking to go onto that inhibitor tower. They're looking to take it down, in that response, that distraction from Kickster drops the last inhibitor tower, and possibly the last inhibitor. There goes Jazz. He wants a piece of Kansu. Current call is open. Anti-Cavity going after Kansu, but Stand United comes in pretty clutch. So does the Slicing Maelstrom. So far, there's one down on the side of the Abusement Park. Kansu so low, trying to dodge out everything he can. He's still alive. They get Cavity. They're gonna get a serial, and now they're gonna get Jazz, and they're gonna get the game. That's gonna be a triple kill picked up by Phoenix, and what a game to come out of both of these teams.
The Phoenix 96, ladies and gentlemen, coming up huge in the. He was just left completely unchecked in the back line, doing exactly what he wanted to.
Oh, at 50 minutes, Brother Brando, this game comes to a close. This was a 2-0 by the Abusement Park, but goodness gracious, did it not feel that way.
Oh man, what a roller coaster, back and forth. Both teams just giving it everything they had. Wow, that was a butt clincher if I've ever seen one. Oh man.
Oh. So we are going to get to those damage charts right now.
It speaks exactly what we were talking about the entire game.
Yeah. Yeah, this was the story of Jazz and and the 1v9. No. I mean, overall we did see that the Jace was able to come up pretty big and Jazz came up huge. But he didn't have, you know, a backup. Once assassins get into the late game, they start to lose a bit of their pick potential because we get into these team fight phases where everyone's grouped up. And that's exactly what happened. Everyone was so well grouped up that they were always just stopping Jazz from overcommitting to any potential kill. And
yeah, I will point out, oh, go ahead. Finish your statement.
Yeah, and that frustration makes it even harder because once Jazz stops getting those kills, it starts to get frustrating. And you start to slip up, you know, all those like risky and, you know, you get more and more risky with your plays. Eventually, it's not going to work out. Eventually, you're going to get caught. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it is actually attributed to supports and that late game support for LeBlanc. Like, the Karma Swipe actually had some extremely good placements of her shields, and they came in at the right time, denying a lot of that damage. And even the Orianna shield was valuable there to deny a lot of the damage that LeBlanc was doing, and thwarted some of the assassination attempts that you could definitely start to see towards the end that Jazz was getting very desperate to try to pick off one of the carries, and wound up paying the price for it.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess that a lot of that attributes to their draft. It was all their eggs in one basket, really. There wasn't that much synergy. So the solo Q power they had was nice, but in the team setting where coordination started to kick up, it didn't pay off. It didn't work.
Yeah, and I did say earlier, both teams really. I don't think either team, like, yeah, Abusement Park came out with the win. I don't think they should be happy with this victory. I think they have a lot they need to go back and look at and try to work on a lot of decision making, in all honesty. But that said,
a lot of this came down to like really sloppy macro plays, so to say. But that being said, I gotta hand it to the Abusement Park. 2-7, yeah, Jazz looked great. He looked great in both games. He was a pretty great assassin. But the Abusement Park, the big thing that they did was played like a team. once they started falling behind, they grouped up together, they came together as a team, and they won that game as a team. And I think that speaks so loudly for the future of their chances in playoffs once they get to that point.
And we did see, just like last week, Bear Ruler stuck to that top side, and it did work out for them this week. So
yeah,
maybe there's some. He did go. He was a little bit everywhere. I'd have to say, not. He was mostly top lane, but he was on both sides of the map, and he was very consistent on the Gragas all series long, and I was fairly impressed with him this week.
So on that note, both of these teams desperately needed a win. Now, T7 look to get their first win next week, but the Abusement Park can breathe a sigh of relief as they go 1-1 in the standings, T7 going 0-2. Great win to come out of the Abusement Park. And that's going to wrap up our coverage of Ascension eSports Dragon League Week 2, the Abusement Park versus T7. I am Decerux. Here is my co-caster, other Decerux. I mean, Southern Decadence Dezdan.
What in tarnation?
And we hope you guys have a great day.